let's start. The penultimate item, ladies and gentlemen. We haven't seen him at G&B for a while, despite the fact that I have been emailing him and asking him to come back to doing comedy. He is like my cathartic political release in comedy. Without him, I fear I may one day go out and just kill Tories. But so long as I can get Stevie B to come on the stage, it's like the release of my internal pressure cooker. So ladies and gentlemen, think of this as an act of mercy for the Tories and the Telegraph readers. If you do not love this man, there is something wrong with you and I may kill. So put your hands together.
Well, I bet you're glad you didn't vote for Chaos with Corbyn, eh? Can you imagine that? Being dragged back to the 1970s, more strikes than a CIA Reaper drone, bigger inflations than a Kardashian's arse cheeks. I, for one, am glad they bypassed all that shit and took us straight back to the Middle Ages. I mean the Dark Ages, because no one can turn the fucking lights on. It won't be long before we're powering the national grid by burning witches. Or migrants. Of course, a lot of people say that the strikes are bringing the country to its knees. Which is ironic, as those fucking people voted for Tory Brexit. Good grief, if this was France, we'd be in the streets burning fucking tyres now. Instead, we're going to be spending the winter keeping warm, burning books. Well, the football season started and there's a new series of Love Island on, isn't there? Fuck's sake. Of course, it could all backfire on the Tories come the next general election, as a large proportion of their voter base is going to die of hypothermia come Christmas. Of course, energy prices could be cheaper if it was all nationalised. Trouble is, our energy companies are already owned by the government. The fucking French government. That's one bit of our country Rees-Mogg's not been busting his bollocks to get back, isn't it? Calling it a cost of living crisis is like saying the McCanns had a babysitting crisis. What the Tories do in a crisis? Sack their fucking leader. Jesus, this summer, Tory unity has made the Labour Party look like 1970s pop group The Brother of the Man. See, a lot of people voted for Johnson because they thought he'd be more like Churchill. I had hoped the same. In the Great War, when thousands of Australians were sent to their death at Gallipoli on Churchill's orders, Winston resigned from the government, enlisted in the Guards, and spent the rest of the Great War on the Western Front. When Johnson's handling of the pandemic killed more British civilians than the fucking Luftwaffe, I dug a trench in my garden, bought a German helmet and sharpened a fucking bayonet. But what did he do? He went to a birthday party and married a giant fucking budgie. I always said Johnson was a cult. Yeah, I said cult. I won't call him the other word out of respect for women. Johnson is a colossal fucking prick. A racist, sexist, classist, vainglorious, narcissistic fucking prick. He lied to the public, he lied to Parliament, he lied to the Queen, he spat on the graves of thousands of British fucking families. What did the Tories sack him for? Supporting a dodgy MP. It's like the Nazis sacking Hitler for forgetting to pay the gas bill. And that's the level of Tory integrity, isn't it? Don't mind a bit of sexual assault as long as we're ahead in the polls. So this summer we've been treated to that most sacred of democratic proceedings, choosing a new Tory leader. I say democratic. Our new Prime Minister was chosen by 80,000 anonymous Tory party members. See, the Tories don't publish their membership details, just like the Ku Klux Klan don't wear fucking name badges. Even the Chinese Politburo look at us and go, that's a bit anti-democratic, mate. 4 prime ministers in 6 years. Fuck me, we've changed our lineup more times than the Sugar Babes. Of course, all the candidates for Tory leader distanced themselves from the administration that they've been administering for 11 fucking years. Just like death camp guards suddenly wearing striped pyjamas. In the end, it came down to Sunak. A man so rich, the Queen asked him for a fucking loan. And Truss, a device for supporting bollocks. Of course them gammon-faced bastards rejected Sunak, no matter how many corner shops he owns. Because Truss is a Tory wet dream, like Thatcher in a K-hole. But for the country, it's just like being on a children's ward and saying goodbye to Jimmy Savile and hearing a fucking didgeridoo coming down the corridor. But give thick Lizzie her dues, while a country alternately boils, starves or drowns to fucking death, she's going to cure all our problems by slashing regulations like a Yorkshire Ripper at a beauty pageant. Fuck me, she's so dense, light bends round her. So it turns out Theresa May was the best they had to offer. And ironically, within a day, Boris Johnson will be relegated to being only the second worst Prime Minister we've ever had. Try not to have nightmares. Cheers.